out. I guess people are held up on the train or something, but they may be straggling. So we want to welcome you all to this wonderful day. This day celebrates, actually, it's February 21st every year, and the date was picked because it was the founding day of the World Federation of Tourist Guides Associations. And they've got, Harvey's going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment, so a little bit more about the World Federation. But we do this every year in February, and in the past, GANYC has marked the day by holding free tours around the city that people would sign up for in advance, and in the middle of February, it's usually bitter cold. And we thought we'd do something a little different this year, and ironically the weather is so nice today, but it's okay. It's good practice for us in the future for when the weather turns bad again to be able to celebrate this day and offer you something to mark the day for International Tourist Guides Day. Now, we say tourist guide because it differentiates what we do from the term tour guide. Because a tour guide could be a book, a map, an app, it could be anything really. But what we do is we lead tourists on a tour. We take tourists around a particular area or a location or sometimes some kind of historical journey that we're giving a tour about, and we interact one-on-one with people. We're face-to-face guides, and we're there to answer questions and solve all the problems that come along the tour, as well as maybe directing them to the perfect little spot for an after-tour bite to eat or something like that. The things that the apps and the books and the maps can't necessarily offer. Tourist guides bring a special element to the concept of touring. And it's a pretty important part of the industry as well. We're going to talk about that a little later on in the day. What I wanted to do first, I want to get out of the way right away. And I know I'll forget somebody already, but thank yous are always, they tack them on at the end, and everybody's running and they're grabbing their coats. And there's a lot of people who made this happen today. First of all, Jamanna Anderson, a member of GANYC, licensed tour guide, and chairperson of our Public Relations Committee, and she did a terrific job. We thank you so much for all the help. Other GANYC members involved today, Ibrahim Jallo, who is the chair of our Multilingual Committee, and a GANYC member as well. These are all GANYC members and all licensed guides. Andrea Coyle and Bob Geller are both members of, and Nina Mende, they're all members of our GANYC board. Nina is one of our vice presidents. Bob Geller is our recording secretary. No, he's not recording, he's corresponding secretary. Andrea Coyle is a member at large, and they're all here to help us get this day together. Harvey Davidson, our other vice president. Also, he's the area representative for the World Federation of Tourist Guides Associations. He's a board member, he's a licensed guide, and he's also the chairperson of our Industry Relations Committee. We have Art and Susan Zuckerman from Z Travel. They've got an incredible radio program that's got 3 million listeners, and they feature a lot of our guides on there, and they're going to be doing a wonderful presentation for us. They're both licensed guides and members of GANYC. And we cannot forget Kathleen O'Connor from the New York Historical Society. She's the director of Tourism and Community Relations, one of our industry partners, and also a GANYC Apple Award winner last year. They won an award, one of our winners, so it's wonderful to be here with them and for them to help us share this wonderful day, International Tourist Guide Day. I just want to tell those of you who are not maybe familiar with GANYC right now, a little bit about GANYC, okay? First of all, we are one of the oldest tour guide associations in America, founded in 1974, founded by licensed guides for licensed guides. And we're an organization where we represent professional tour guides, and we provide a number of services for the public as well as for our members. We have education programs, familiarization tours, workshops, professional advice, and we do have a mission for our organization. I'm going to read it verbatim from our Constitution and bylaws. And it says, we as licensed sightseeing guides in New York City, we use the term there because sightseeing, because that's what it says on a license, although we celebrate tourist guides, we try to kind of follow the local ordinance here with their language. So, as licensed sightseeing guides in New York City, in a common endeavor to promote our profession and enhance and improve the public perception thereof, to provide a platform for interaction between professional guides and representation with other organizations, industries, and governmental bodies, and thereby enhance and serve the interests of the city itself. Due to that, they've established the Constitution of the Guides Association of New York City. And that's what GANYC stands for, Guides Association of New York City. So just to give you an idea of who we are, and Harvey's going to tell us a little bit about the the World Federation of Tour Guides Associations. This is Harvey Davidson, Vice President of GANYC.
Good afternoon, and thank everyone for being here this afternoon. I am the area representative for New York City for the World Federation of Tourist Guide Associations, also known as the WFTGA. WFTGA has over 200,000 members in 80 countries throughout the world. GANYC is also a member of the National Federation of Tourist Guide Associations, USA. The National Federation, NFTGA, has 18 members: Boston, New York, Washington, Philadelphia, Charleston, South Carolina, Branson, the state of Florida, St. Louis, Chicago, the Rocky Mountain area, Utah. In Texas, we have San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston, and we're also on the West Coast in San Diego and San Francisco. So we're well represented throughout the United States. Cooperating partners with the WFTGA are the United Nations World Tourism Organization, UNWTO, who declares the current year as the one to support sustainability. Whether some call it green or soft tourism, all want to protect their own area and cultural heritage. The tourist guide is one who supports this wish intensively. We explain our sites and habits, protect nature and traditions, promote local handicraft, and help build the infrastructure. Tourist guides, out of professional respect for their cultural heritage, conscientiously choose never to bite the hand that feeds them. The wish of the UNWTO to reduce visa restrictions has been essentially successful, and the growth in travel has increased 4% all over the world, including overnight stays since last year. Another of our congenial partners is the International Institute for Peace and Tourism. That's the IIPT, celebrating 30 years of existence and just recently starting cooperation with Scala International. Tourism is becoming the world's first global peace industry. What else do tourist guides desire? Travel to connect with friends, new ideas, habits, and cultural exchange, the route for mutual understanding. Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to hear a little bit from New York Historical Society. Kathleen O'Connor is going to come up and share some of the stuff in our partnership with them. It's been a wonderful, wonderful thing for GANYC. I know, and I hope it's been just as wonderful for the Historical Society to be partnered with us in this way. And come on up.
Partnership has indeed been wonderful, and we're always so happy to welcome anyone from GANYC to the Historical Society. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about if he's not here anymore. A trip to New York City isn't complete without a stop here, and most of the GANYC members know that. This is where 400 years of history and art tell the story of our city and our country. Visitors can get an up-close and personal look at objects from the New Amsterdam era, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, up to the present. And they'll learn all the stories behind them. Our New York Story film, which is below us, and you will feel it when some of the music plays, takes viewers on a journey through New York City history from a remote outpost to city at the center of the world. It's an 18-minute panoramic film experience shown on a 70-foot screen in surround sound. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I hope you'll take advantage of your time here to take a look at it. Part of our permanent collection can be seen on the first floor with the story of our founding era and the wonderful objects that were found by urban archaeologists when they excavated downtown. Now, as many of you know, our fourth floor Loose Center has been closed for renovations, and I'm very excited to be able to give you a preview of what you'll see when we reopen. As you step off the elevator, you'll be greeted by a magnificent two-story gallery of our Tiffany lamps, and you're going to be absolutely dazzled by the brilliance of them. We have the largest collection of Tiffany lamps in the United States, and second largest in the world. Every time I see these images, I keep thinking that, like, Captain Kirk or Mr. Spock will be in there somewhere, because it looks very Star Trek-y to me. Fittingly, right next to it is going to be the only women's history center in the country. Many of you will remember that a few years ago, we had a Tiffany exhibition where we revealed new information about the lamps. And the new information was they were all designed by women. So our Women's History Center will tell the story of Clara Driscoll and the Tiffany girls, as well as many other stories of women who changed history. Now, on the other side of the Tiffany lamps, if you remember the old Loose Center, lots of objects around, but not telling a story, just sort of sitting there. Well, now they're going to tell a story, and the area is actually called Objects Tell Stories. We've taken objects from our permanent collection of over 4 million and put them together in groupings to tell the story of the city that we love. They're odd objects, weird objects, iconic objects, and they'll all be on our fourth floor. In addition to the knowledge that the GANYC guides bring, we'll have explainers there to share information and the backstories. And I will arrange for a private tour for GANYC members when we finally reopen, so that you'll get a first-hand look at all we offer. Now, special exhibitions. Our current exhibitions are Superheroes in Gotham, which closes today. So you saw the crowds downstairs last minute. We fit nearly 2,000 people in the Superheroes Gallery yesterday. So there are a lot of people who are fond of it, and I am really going to miss it. Also, we have Silicon City, the history of computers in New York, and that will close April 17. Mayasta, the Renaissance painting, is right next to us here to the left, and it will be here until March. Picasso across the hall, that is an ongoing exhibition, but the objects around the curtain change every 6 months. Our holiday trains are going to be leaving next week, but the Batmobile stays until mid-May, so it's selfie time for quite a few more months. Coming soon, we have the art and whimsy of Mo Willems, so we'll have lots of families in here with young children who are fans of him. He is going to be here several times during the exhibition. There'll be places to draw with him, to read with him. It'll be a lot of fun and very, very colorful. We will also have temporary tattoos, and I'm looking forward to that. So we'll have toys and things to play with. Next to us for Mayasta is we're going to have a profound and moving exhibition about anti-Semitism in Germany from 1919 to 1939. It's going to show the slow indoctrination of citizens to a different way of thinking. And although it took place in Germany, we think it is very apropos this time. Down on the first floor, we have Silicon City. We are going to have a folk art exhibition, so that will be great and very, very colorful. And since most of you are tour guides, you're going to want to know that from June 7th to July 17th, We are going to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the death of Shakespeare. We're going to have the first folio here, and it's the only place in New York State that you'll be able to see it. For fall, we've got presidential campaigns, of course, the Battle of Brooklyn. We have our new Hudson River School paintings, which I'm sure you've read about, and of course the trains will be back. Spring 2017, we'll have an exhibition on Thomas Jefferson, and here comes my favorite, Tattooed New York. So those of you who were at my open house for tourism last fall, and you saw what we did for superheroes, more. We're going to do much better with tattoos. And in June 2017, Eloise will visit us. So start planning ahead. The Jamanna Children's History Museum presents 400 years of history as we do for adults. But they're through character-based pavilions, interactive exhibitions, and digital games. And it is history seen through the eyes of children who grew up to be very famous to our country, such as James McKeon Smith, Alexander Hamilton, Willems. So, group sales, you've got a flyer about our group sales department, and you'll see all the information on our adult tours. We've got options for any size group, and our docents are absolutely fabulous. Our student tours have taken a very interesting turn. We serve over 200,000 students here every year, and our outreach programs hit another 200,000. So you've got a flyer, and you'll see that we've added some new programs for students. And our best seller is History Through Broadway Shows. So if you are hosting any performance groups, that's the way to go. It's really a lot of fun and very, very interesting. And there we go. We've arranged for guided tours of our highlights collection for you at 4 o'clock today. So if any of you are interested, I'll be at the back of the room and I'll set you up for it, and our docents will be here. So I hope you will join us. And I also hope that you'll join us on February 29th, Monday the 29th, for our CNN premiere. CNN has a new series coming out on presidential elections, and we are premiering the series. The episode that we will be talking about and showing will be on the 1960 election. And as many of you know, that's the election that changed it all. We went from substance to sound bites and optics. And it was a very interesting time of transition. So you've got the flyer there, and I